What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Listography. Jason, Joe, and Crams are here. We got a little bonus video for you this week. We got the new James Bond movie out. When did that come out? Friday? Previous Friday? Somewhere around then. So we are going to rank all 24 Bond theme songs. There are 26 movies. We got 24 theme songs. The first Bond movie, Dr. No, doesn't really have an official theme. And then the Casino Royale original movie with Woody Allen isn't really an official part of the franchise. So that leaves us with 24. We're going to do the bottom four, and then we'll do five at a time through the list. We'll just kind of bang this out pretty quickly. But let's see what you guys have got.
Let's get into a little official movie business first. Who's your favorite Bond, and what's your favorite Bond movie?
I gotta go with the new guy, Daniel Craig's my favorite, and I think my favorite's probably Casino Royale, not the old one, the new one. His first. It's gritty, They did the whole Batman thing. They went back and rebooted him as a gritty crime fighter, but I think it's great. I think the performances are great, and I like Daniel Craig. It's a little more serious, a little less jokey. Not that I hate the jokey stuff, but it's just, I think, a better movie overall, regardless of the Bondness of it.
I've seen about 4 James Bond movies, and not really my thing.
Very cool. I gotta go with Connery, even though I don't think he's a very good human being. He's got all the style, but favorite film's probably got to be GoldenEye. I know I'm a homer for my generation, but it's just so action-packed. Video game was great back in the day. Famke Janssen is smoking hot, and Sean Bean is the best villain of all time. So how can you not? All right, let's get down to brass tacks.
Bottom 4 for me, all the way at the bottom, we got Madonna with Die Another Day. Totally blows, just the worst. Nothing James Bond about the arrangement, the singing. This is like her lame Euro dance phase. It sucks. I hate it. 23 from Spectre, we got Writings on the Wall by the limp noodle that is Sam Smith. Just no character at all. Writings on the Wall for you, Sam. 22, I got All Time High from Rita Coolidge, which could be the theme song for literally any 80s television show. Terrible. From the great titled Octopussy, and that's what they came up with. Come on, work that into a title song somewhere. That would be perfect. And number 21, I got Alicia Keys and Jack White's, whatever the hell they were doing. Another Way to Die from Quantum of Solace. It's a big old mismatch, just tries for like that gritty sound, but it's just a bad Jack White song with Alicia Keys over the top of it. And it doesn't bring me anything I want in a James Bond theme, which is murder, mystery, and sex, and martinis. None of that.
Okay. First of all, I'm going to say that other than my number 24, I don't think any of these songs are downright like terrible. So, a few of them I like a lot just on their own as songs, but this is the only one I think is just bad. And I've got All Time High by Rita Coolidge at number 24. Yeah, it is just terrible 80s fluff. I don't understand what anything it has to do with Bond. It could be the theme song for Family Ties, Empty's Nest, like anything. It's just truly awful. It presents no sex, no danger, nothing. Number 23, I hate to do this to my boys, but I got A View to Kill by Duran Duran. I don't think it's very musical. I think it's kind of clunky, cluttered, doesn't sound anything like Bond, seems really lazy, and vocals are just really forgettable. Number 22, one person I would never hire for a Bond theme, Sheryl Crow, Tomorrow Never Dies. I don't like her as an artist really at all. I don't really care for her voice. I don't think it fits the Bond vibe. I don't think the guitar tone works. And at times in this song, she sounds like Gwen Stefani trying to hit like those higher notes. Not very good. Number 21, got License to Kill by Gladys Knight. Not terrible, but quite overproduced and a little too bombastic with the vocals. It's just too cheesy for Bond. It takes away all of the cool mystery to it, and the rhythm of the melody is just way too cheerful and bouncy and playful for a for a Bond song. So those are my bottom four.
I'm with Joe on the bottom. I've got Die Another Day by Madonna. Terrible song, terrible beat, doesn't fit the Bond franchise at all. I don't know what she's going on about Freud also. It's nonsense. It's terrible song. After that, I've got The Man with the Golden Gun by Lulu. Terrible arrangement. All the bluesy slide guitar is completely at odds with all the cool Bond-esque orchestration. Could have had just that, it would have been fine, but there's just too much going on. Number 22, I've got From Russia with Love by Matt Monro. I guess this was the first proper Bond theme. This was the first one with a real theme song. But I don't think Matt Monro has enough charisma to put this very mediocre song over the top. So it's just pretty bland. Number 21, I've got Another Way to Die by Jack White and Alicia Keys. Joe nailed it. They're just a mismatched duo. They don't sound really good together, and it doesn't really have the Bond vibes that I want. It feels very forced, and it's just not a very good song. So those are the bottom four for me.
Yeah, as we move through these, we're starting number 20 here. I'm still not up to like a good song level. So he had the one song he hated. I'm still in the pretty lame territory. Kicking it off with Tomorrow Never Dies, Sheryl Crow. Kramser's dead on this one. She does not have the power in her vocals at all to sing a James Bond theme song. Just not even close. Sounds terrible. I don't remember that at all. Like, I remember a lot of these theme songs. I had no idea Sheryl Crow did the Bond theme song. So probably for the best for everyone. Number 19, I got For Your Eyes Only by Sheena Easton. It's basically just like an 80s love ballad. It's okay. Sheena Easton's fine, but it just doesn't really work. Number 18, I'm going to go with the Duran Duran Light, Aha, with the Living Daylights. This is like the opposite of the Duran Duran song. It sounds like the Bond theme was like grafted onto an Aha song. And the verse is good, but the chorus, huge letdown. It's just too 80s. It doesn't have enough to make it a good James Bond theme song, or really that good of a song. Number 17, I got The Man with the Golden Gun from Lulu. I think it's forced. I agree with Jason. Production's too messy. I like Lulu's vocal performance, but the arrangement is a letdown. And number 16, sorry, Tina Turner. I just don't love this one. Like, it just kind of sounds too much like a Shirley Bassey one with Tina Turner singing it. But I know Goldeneye, it's got the retro nostalgia for us Gen Xers or whatever we are, Gen Z, millennials, whatever. I don't know. It just doesn't quite work for me.
All right, my number 20, I've got Jack White and Alicia Keys. It's like, God, yeah, no good chemistry here, really. And the guitar sound and heaviness and distorted vocals, it's too hard and not British enough for a James Bond track. Number 19, I've got You Know My Name by Chris Cornell. Objectively the worst composition and weird beat, but I'm a sucker for his voice, so I've got it at least at 19, and it's nice and short, so get it over with. Number 18, Matt Monro, From Russia with Love. Bit smarmy, bit too old school for me, and it's very slow and uneventful, and yeah, no personality, and whoever the hell Matt Monro is trying to be here. 17, speaking of smarmy, I've got Thunderball by Tom Jones. It's got the ideal horns. It's got great pace, great feel, good jazzy, flirtatious composition. But I just hate this guy as a singer. He is the complete opposite of what I look for in singer, and I can't stand it, so I can't put it any higher, even though I think it's got some good qualities to it. And then number 16, I've got Madonna with Die Another Day. I like Madonna. I think it's catchy. It's kind of cool. It's different than every other Bond song, and it kind of fits how shitty that movie is. So it's like just perfect to me. And I just distinctively remember going to see it as a young high schooler with my cousin, getting some slushies and putting a little special active ingredients in those slushies. So it was a good time, good memories.
All right, my number 20 is All Time High by Rita Coolidge. You guys are right. It's just fluffy AM gold pop. makes no attempt to sound like a Bond theme at all. And it's just not a good enough song to go rogue like that and just do its own thing. If it was a fantastic song, maybe, but nah, it's just not very good. And I think, I don't know about you guys, I was looking at the recent Esquire article where they did the same thing, ranking the themes as kind of a reference, and they had this at like number 8 or something. I do not know what they were thinking. Number 19, I've got The Living Daylights by Aha. It's just got too much 80s production on it to really make a great Bond theme song. It's okay, but not great. My number 18 is A View to Kill by Duran Duran. Same issue, just too much 80s all over it. It doesn't really work as a Bond theme. I do think it's a pretty good 80s pop song, but judging it as a Bond theme, I don't think it works super well. Number 17, License to Kill by Gladys Knight. This song, I think, could have been number 1 best James Bond theme. I think it's a really good song, and I think her vocals are great, but it is just buried in so much ridiculous production that just totally suffocates it. And my number 16 is Nobody Does It Better by my arch nemesis, Carly Simon. This song has the opposite problem. I think the production on this is very good. The orchestration is very good, but the song lacks the drama necessary for a good Bond theme. So number 16 for me.
I thought the Esquire was the worst list I've ever seen, but you guys are giving it a run for its money with your ridiculous placements of some of these classics. My number 15, I'm with Jason mostly with this, at least. License to Kill by Gladys Knight. It kind of sounds like In Vogue. It's a good song, but it's not a James Bond song. Production is very like New Jack Swing or whatever. Very too much of its time. Good vocals though from Gladys. We're getting into like decent territory now. Number 14, I got No Time to Die from Billie Eilish. Good, nothing special. Billie Eilish has a good voice. We all know that now. It's dark enough, but it never goes anywhere. It just kind of like there's no build up into like that big, give me like a Moonraker or something, like anything. Just kind of wafts there. Number 13, speaking of Moonraker, I got Shirley Bassey with Moonraker from Moonraker. I think it's good, but it's a letdown compared to the other Shirley Bassey tracks. I don't know, the lyrics are lame. I don't think Moonraker was a very good movie. Number 12, Matt Monro, who was huge in Europe before the Beatles killed his career, from Russia with Love. I don't even think I ever heard of this guy. He kind of sounds like Frank Sinatra light. He's a real crooner, which I kind of like. This is 1963, so it's pre-rock. So it's decent. It was interesting. It's a fun little song. I don't think he sings it poorly. Number 11, I like this song more than I like it as a Bond theme. I got We Have All the Time in the World from Louis Armstrong, which I didn't know he did a James Bond theme song. That's very interesting. 1969. I think it's a good song. It just doesn't quite, like I've said before, there's no conveyance of the Bond necessities. Doesn't say spy thriller. Not enough drama for me, but it is a cool track from good old Louis Armstrong.
Number 15, I've got Aha, Living Daylights. I love the synth. I love the new wave 80s-ness, the Bowie-esque vocals. Just not quite Bondy enough to get much higher than 15. Number 14, I got Writing on the Wall by Sam Smith. I think, Sam Smith is not a very good singer, but probably the best kind of example, or the singing I can take the easiest is on this track. The hits don't do anything for me. And I think but when Sam Smith does a falsetto, they don't really hit for me. But like the other vocals, better than the stuff I know. But the arrangements and the strings are here. So it kind of just makes for a decent little straightforward pop, straightforward James Bond song. But it really lacks a hook. Number 13, I got Man with the Golden Gun by Lulu. Silly, but it is straightforward. The lyrics are terrible. It's like reading the back of a VHS copy of a Bond movie. It's like, he's a man with whatever it is, really dumb. But I like the guitar, and I think it fits the times well. With Joe on number 12, I've got We Have All the Time in the World by Louis Armstrong. Not very Bondy, but one of the greatest voices ever. It's great on its own and relatively simple. I just like it more than many others. And number 11, Sheena Easton, For Your Eyes Only. Even though every time I hear it, I think of Arrested Development for the For British Eyes Only, which is hilarious. I'm not crazy about the production, but I think the vibe on this is perfect. And I think it's just kind of like almost the ultimate Bond sounding sound. And I think the lyrics on this are really good. So that's just outside my top 10.
Right. My number 15 is You Know My Name by Chris Cornell from Casino Royale. It's okay. It's a decent song. Could be more James Bondy, but it's not terrible. My number 14 is For Your Eyes Only by Sheena Easton. I like the verses. I think they work pretty well, but then the chorus is just too bland, too much of like a straight pop chorus. Doesn't really do a lot for me. Number 13, I got Moonraker by Shirley Bassey. She's the only person who's done more than one James Bond theme, and she's done 3 of them. I think generally she's pretty good, and this one's not bad. It's just not as good as her other 2, really. Then I've got We Have All the Time in the World by Louis Armstrong. Like you guys said, not very Bond-esque either, but I can listen to his voice all day. I think it's a good song, and I think it's fitting that this kind of weird one-off type of song is the one James Bond movie with George Lazenby. It's almost fitting in a way. My number 11 is The World Is Not Enough by Garbage. Far better than I expected a Garbage James Bond theme to be. I think Shirley Manson does a pretty solid job of the vocals. I don't think it's a great song or anything, but it's all right.
Okay, one more song to go before we get into what I consider are not only great songs, no, what I not only consider great Bond songs, but also great songs in general. Some of these have a legitimate chance of making my Song of the Year lists. Really like Bond themes, and there's some really good ones here. This one is just pretty good. I got Thunderball from Tom Jones. I don't mind Tom Jones at all. I like the over-the-top vocals. I like when he sings Strikes Like Thunder Ball, like he holds that. I don't know why. It's just weird, but humorous. It's big and brassy, and it just sounds like a big James Bond theme. It has all the things I want in a Bond theme. Number 9, I might get some slack for this, but I think it's a great song. Diamonds Are Forever from Shirley Bassey from Diamonds Are Forever in 71. I think the lyrics are pretty clever. I think the vocals are great, jazzy and orchestral, and Bassey really purrs the lyrics. Number 8, I'm gonna go with Garbage's The World Is Not Enough. Competitor in 1999 for Song of the Year, I'm telling you. The arrangement sounds great. It's modern, has all the beats of the classic James Bond theme, strings, the horns, orchestration, and Shirley Manson really delivers the goods. Number 7, my other Shirley Bassey, Goldfinger, probably lower than what most people have, but I don't know, it's sharp and catchy, it's unforgettable, whatever. Great orchestration. I love the big horns, and I too love gold, so it's a good one. Number 7, I'm gonna go with Adele with Skyfall. If there was ever a perfect modern vocalist for a Bond soundtrack, it would be Adele. Great performance, hits all the things you want in a Bond theme. It's very sort of recall the Shirley Bassey stuff, all the great orchestration, the horns and everything. And the rise in Adele's vocals, each like stanza throughout the chorus, she gets a little higher each time. Really great. And a great movie as well, one of my favorite Bonds.
Right. My number 10, let's kick it off with the queen herself, Shirley Bassey. Smooth, jazzy, powerful vocals on Moonraker. Exactly what you want. This one's nice and short. I usually prefer female singers as my Bond singers. Number 9, Live and Let Die by Paul McCartney. It's a good song. It's not a great song. He's not a great guy. He's one of the most punchable faces ever. I'm so sick of talking about him and hearing people talk about him on this channel. I wish he would just go away. I prefer the Guns N' Roses version to this one, but it is a good song. Maybe I don't, and I just want to rib Jason a little bit, but maybe I do. Number 8, got No Time to Die by William Eilish. Usually like her vocals, no change here. It's got that intimate, close, really vulnerable and kind of sultry. I think it just works for Bond. Number 7, You Only Live Once by Nancy Sinatra. The hook with the strings and the guitar is so good, and she's a great singer. Number 6, Diamonds Are Forever. Love the lurking opening, smooth, great strings. Love the punchy horns and the vocal performance, and the drums are great.
All right, my number 10, Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith. Not a great song, but I think the orchestration is fantastic on this track. Really well recorded, sounds big, massive. I like the sound of the track a lot. So number 10. Number 9, Diamonds Are Forever by Shirley Bassey. Her themes are kind of the template that I think everyone else has been working off of since then. And she has one that's better, but this one's really cool. I like the drumming on this one a lot. It does like this really fast hi-hat thing in the choruses. Number 8, Thunderball by Tom Jones. The Esquire list put this second to last. I don't know how you can do that with that horn. It has the ba-da, ba-da, like the iconic James Bond thing that you always think of. That comes from this track. It's cool. I think his vocals are fine, so got to be at least top 10. Tomorrow Never Dies, Sheryl Crow. I think this is an unlikely but successful partnership, her and the Bond franchise. I think her voice, Joe said she doesn't have the power, which she doesn't really have the power, but she's got like this cool detachment that I think just works. And my number 6 is Goldeneye by Tina Turner. Not crazy about the heavy bass on this track, but her vocal performance is perfect for a Bond theme. I think it's just what you want. So there you go.
I think that if Sheryl Crow was singing to me and then all of a sudden talking to me, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Are you singing right now, or are we in a conversation? I have no idea. She is one of the more blander, nonchalant artists I've ever heard in my life, and does not do it for me at all.
If she was here, she would disagree with Jason's placement.
Looks like I got to make Sheryl Crow my next personal pick when we get to it.
I guess we got a big Sheryl Crow fan here. Who knew? All right, my top 5. I'm going to go with Nancy Sinatra, number 5, with You Only Live Twice. This is a great pop song. I don't know if it's the best Bond theme song, but I think it's very interesting and unique in the canon. Very pretty. It's a little psychedelic, very 60s, and the vocals are great from Nancy. Number 4, this is probably going to be my winner in 2006, guys. You know my name, Chris Cornell. I think he hasn't sounded better than this in a decade, basically since his solo album. His vocals sound great, much better than Audioslave, and it works perfectly for the gritty reboot. It's a gritty rock song paired with a gritty reboot. It's perfect. It's a great marriage of rock and classic Bond. Lyrics are good, nice and descriptive, not a throwaway at all. Number 3, this is where it gets tough. This didn't make my list in 73, but I think it's a fantastic song. Live and Let Die from Wings. This is the first time Bond really gets like a rock song, and it really works. The symphony and Sir Paul's funky little 70s rock and roll is great. It probably is the best Bond theme song, but whatever, it's not my best Bond theme song. Number 2, another classic. You guys can't believe you put it this low. View to a Kill from Duran Duran. You wouldn't think 80s and James Bond go together, but this is a great Duran song, a great 80s song. And it sounds like Bond in the 80s. Like they capture the Bondness of it with the 80s synths and everything. And Simon Le Bon's croon just works perfectly for this. He's sexy and cool. He's James Bond, basically. No awkward mashing here, and I like the sharp stabs of the orchestra. I don't know if it's a synth or real orchestra or whatever, however they do it. It's got all the great parts of Duran Duran and James Bond. I don't understand how you cannot like it. But how would make my number 1, Jason's Nemesis. Look out in 1977 for Carly Simon with Nobody Does It Better. Martin Hamlish wrote this. He's one of the few EGOT winners, Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. Carly Simon, she's not even a good singer, and yet she still carries this one. She nails it. The lyrics are great. It's completely different. Like most of these songs are about like what the bad guy does and like the plot of the movie. This one's like totally just like stroking the ego of James Bond. Like he's the best. Nobody does it better. Great lover, you know, just all the things that James Bond is comes out right in these lyrics. And I love the violins and the horns and the outro. I think they're amazing. I think the arrangement is perfect. The song is fantastic. And it's just a great song and a great James Bond ego trip. So it is my number one James Bond song, Carly Simon, Nobody Does It Better.
Yeah, she's not the best singer ever, that's for sure. But the list of people that I think she's better on would blow your little mind, guys, including anyone who's ever put the mic to their lips from Three Dog Night, no doubt. Number 5, I've got The World Is Not Enough by Garbage. Yeah, I think Shirley Manson just nails the vibe here. It's a different modern take with cool drums, different kind of sensibility, and it's got like that 90s shadowy coolness. I love the chorus. I think it's probably the catchiest chorus, actually. The world is not enough. It's perfect. But to say it could win Song of the Year, I think you're going off the rocker a little bit with like 4 potential Bond themes that are going to win. And if you can't think of a better song from 2006, then you have listened to maybe 9 albums from 2006. Come on. Number 4, Joe said it perfectly. There's not a better modern Shirley Bassey substitute than Adele. Skyfall, love the piano. She's just made to be the new Bond queen. Wouldn't mind every Bond movie for the rest of eternity until she passes from this mortal coil. Just have it be, just Adele every time. The blend of the new style and the old and everything is just perfect. Number 3, I'm going with Tina Turner, Goldeneye. Love the string plucks at the beginning. It's simple and it's safe, but nails it every turn. Number 2, I'm going with Goldfinger. It's just iconic, great vocal performance. Probably the most obvious, best Bond sounds. Great, and got like that martini jazz. My number 1, I'm with Joe. It's got to be Carly Simon. It's a great song on its own. It's easily the best just song of all of these. It's a beautiful ballad. It's breezy and sentimental and so different because it's just a love letter to James Bond, like totally from the perspective of a Bond girl, just totally, you know, in Stockholm syndrome of how amazing this dude is, and it's awesome. Radiohead does a great cover of it. Let's be honest, it's awesome cover, but this version is terrific. I don't understand how it could not be towards the top for you, Jason. It's a tremendously penned song.
My number 5 is Skyfall from Adele. I think it's a great Bond theme. The only criticism you could maybe have for it is that it's maybe too on the nose. It's like exactly a Bond theme, but it's great. Number 4, You Only Live Twice by Nancy Sinatra. Great song. I think it captures the Bond feel, captures the franchise perfectly. Number 3, Goldfinger by Shirley Bassey. I love the way she says finger. It's that alone gets it up to number 3. Number 2 is No Time to Die by Billie Eilish. I love Billie Eilish, big fan, and she just continues to impress. I think it's hauntingly beautiful, just a great song. But was there ever any question what my number 1 would be? Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney.
Graham's just walking out like he just saw a bad Bond movie or something. Just not even.
Is he done talking about his false idol yet?
Nothing false about him. All right, so there you go. Those are the Bond themes ranked, and I guess if you stick around to the very end, I will go through the process of making a list like I do for the listography videos, and I'll average them out, and we'll really get to the bottom of what the best James theme is. But let us know what you think of the James Bond theme songs. Which ones are your favorite? What do you think of our lists? Drop that all down in the comments. Like the video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel. If you've not subscribed yet, find Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our website down in the description of the video. And we'll be back later this week. It's Coldplay week, so we'll be ranking their records, top 10 songs, all that fun stuff. So we'll see you then. Thanks for watching.